The two, Peter Gadet, an army commander loyal to the rebel leader Riek Machar, and Major-General Marial Chanuong, head of Kiir's presidential guard, have had their assets frozen and barred from dealing with U.S. companies. According to the U.S. State Secretary John Kerry, the two bear the most responsibility for violating the cessation of hostilities agreement and for perpetrating violence against civilians.
The cessation of hostilities agreement that was signed in January by the South Sudanese government and the opposition has obviously not been upheld. And the recent attacks by the South Sudanese government and the anti-government forces, both of them, are absolutely unacceptable, and the United States condemns them in the strongest terms.
The European High Commissioner has expressed concern over the deepening crisis and says the country could plunge into civil war if the two sides do not reconcile.
I'm worried that this country is on the brink of what could be a civil war, ethnically motivated. And the prospects of famine and a humanitarian disaster, they're really looming large now.
Meanwhile, UN Secretary of State Ban Ki-moon is in South Sudan for a one-day visit to persuade government forces and opposing rebels to end more than 4 months of fighting. Since the beginning of the current crisis, the Secretary General has repeatedly called upon leaders to find a political solution and to put an immediate end to the violence which has led to the suffering of many civilians. Government and rebel negotiators in Ethiopia agreed on Monday to consider a month of tranquility. But as they did, rebel fighters and the army battled for control of a northern oil town. Kiir has agreed to hold face-to-face talks with Machar in the South Sudanese capital Juba on Friday. But Machar is yet to commit to the talks, prompting the U.S. Secretary of State to threaten the rebel leader with sanctions if he does not take part in the talks. Susan Mongeli, CCTV.